SK versus Fnatic is a rivalry that is older than even League of Legends.
Fnatic versus SK, El Clasico of esports.
Fnatic lost 4 members of their team.
People didn't expect Fnatic to show a strong playstyle.
We see the right of the arcane. Shots coming out. Flash boomerang. The third one gets a double kill. For Bivin, you are here.
Fnatic are our big rivals this season, it seems. They're just looking really good in every lane.
Huni goes 4-0.
He just doesn't want to die. If they beat SK today, suddenly everything is open regarding the top spot. I'm looking forward to see what they can do.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the European League Championship Series. We're live here in Berlin, Germany, where just moments ago, we saw some of our Dutch fans coming in, representing the Netherlands, excited to see those players. Also, our analysts getting ready over at the stage. Rocket coming on in to get ready for their match today. And of course, Soren, Freeze, they're setting that one up as well. You'll see that in just a moment. Yep. There we are. That's those guys. And now, I am Devin Pyrotechnics Young. Beside me is, of course, Martin Deficio Linga. We'd also like to wish you guys a happy Lunar New Year to anyone who's celebrating today as we kick off week 5 of the Spring Split starting right now.
Yeah, and what a week it's going to be. We have El Clasico later today,
Oh, yeah?
Fnatic versus SK Gaming, and of course Unicorns of Love and H2K going to be the last game where we're going to see who can actually break into the top 3 spots.
Indeed, we will. Now let's go ahead and catch up quickly with a look at those standings. Over in first place, SK Gaming still reigns undefeated, 8 wins, 0 losses. Fnatic, though, behind them, 6-2. And of course, the Unicorns of Love have now separated themselves from the herd after a 2-0 performance last week, springing into 3rd place.
Yeah, and further down the table are the Copenhagen Wolves, who are tied with a rising H2K and a sliding Element, sadly for them. And then Gambit have actually bounced back from a rather poor start to the season, 3-5 now. Sadly, Nick, he's out for this week. He's sick. Betsy, a challenger player, has replaced him. We're going to have to see what they can do.
Let's see what they can do indeed. Now, turning to our schedule, Rocket will have a chance to turn it around in just a few moments when they face off against the Copenhagen Wolves in our first match of the day.
And later on, as we said before, we'll have our very first El Clasico match of the 2015 season between Fnatic and SK Gaming.
Then the Unicorns of Love will lock horns with H2K in a decisive head-to-head as both teams look to climb further up the tables.
Yeah, and the first time we really get to see which team can be consistent, because they keep winning, then suddenly they randomly lose a game here. They gotta get on track and just keep getting these wins here if they want to be a good and a top. Want to be a top team here in Europe.
Yeah, it's
also
you definitely
team.
have to make sure you're consistent and you're consistently good. Now, with the halfway point of the Spring Split upon us, we want to know what you guys think at home. Tweet us at LOL Esports. Let us know what team has surprised you the most so far this split and why. What about you, Deficio?
I mean, a lot of people are going to say Fnatic because 4 new members, nobody expected them to be a top team, but I'm actually looking at Copenhagen Wolves because I saw the roster change with Freeze for Woolite. I didn't really know what to expect because they had been a bottom team the season before. But they actually come in here and found a tactic that really works. Soren has stepped up in the mid lane as well. So I feel like Copenhagen Wolves has surprised me quite a lot. And actually now sitting in the middle of the table where they belong.
Well, indeed. Now, we want to know after his question, or after his response, what you guys do think, of course. And you can even agree with him as well. Remember to send your responses to @LOL Esports. Use that hashtag LCS so we can share them with our analysts later on in the show. And if your tweet gets read on air today, we'll go ahead and send you a Firecracker Jinx skin. Explosive.
Not bad.
Yeah. Now for a quick look at the league as the playoffs start to loom on the horizon. SK once again remaining undefeated here. They have a chance to tie Fnatic's 9-0 win streak from Spring Split of 2013, quite a while ago, against that very same team today.
Yeah, really going to be a crazy game. The 2 best teams we have here, nobody's been able to beat SK so far. Elements came fairly close, I think we can say, but then SK just turned it around, and we have to see if Fnatic has anything prepared for them. And then obviously, again, we have to see Unicorns of Love and H2K, because they are looking better and better. They play each other last game of the day here. And I really want to see which team can pull ahead and just become the team we want them to be, because they look so good, and then the next week it just completely crash and burn for them. And again, they have players like Power of Evil, Oduamne, and Lulex for H2K as well. There's a lot of good players. We just don't really see them perform well enough every single week.
Yeah, it is really strange that we can see them make so many master performances and then just kind of the next week fall flat. It sometimes depends on the teams they're playing against, I suppose. But just when you have a night and day, it's really, really weird that you would expect them to be a little bit closer to the results week to week, but we'll see if that changes here. We also have multiple roster changes as well. Kevin's gone to Elements now, starting and replacing Wicked there. Betsy, you mentioned, is going to be on Gambit. And also JWoww, replacing Mimer on Meet Your Makers in the top lane. Yeah, Mimer is not out yet. He's actually going to be the assistant coach for Meet Your Makers, so he's still helping in terms of pick and ban phase. But JWoww, the former Gamers 2 top laner, is now starting for the team, and they need to make some changes. They're down in the bottom as number 10. You want to get out of that last place. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be stuck there for long. That auto-relegation's not looking too good. Now, for the latest on the roster shakeup in the Elements camp, let's go ahead and check in at the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Pirate.